to show you how to paint this beautiful eagle with acrylic paint, step by step, in real time. That way you can follow along with me. And I do it for beginners and all levels. My name is Allison Pryor. Let's get started. Okay, here's our eagle. Now what we're going to need for this eagle is get a palette and just put some paints on your palette, which is ultramarine blue, cad yellow, cad red, burnt umber, sap green, black, and white. Now if you don't have those colors, use any dark blue, red, brown, green, and light yellow. So as long as you got those colors, you'll be fine. And then all you need is a couple of brushes just to put on the paint in the background. You'll need a flat bristle brush, or you can use a flat or a filbert sable. Very nice brush. And we'll have other brushes to use. Some small liner brushes. And maybe we'll add a few more as we go along. So for now, that's all you need. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this eagle down and we're going to go with a blank canvas. Alright, so here we go. Let's get started on this now. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to get your paint. I'm going to use my bristle brush, and it's probably size 12, but you can use a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to dip it in my blue. We're just going to do any background you want. You can have any kind of background you want. I'm going to pick up some blue on my brush and some white so that it'll all come out. I'm just going to do it this way for now. And then I'm just going to put a background on there, sort of like sky and clouds all in one. I have a video on one-step clouds and sky. I'll put that in a link for you. So I'm just going to put on this background, back and forth. See how this, I'm just going to bring it down a little just to give it a little bit of a different shape. Alright, so this is just your background now for your eagle, okay? So pick up some more white and some blue, put some more on. Seeing how the blue and the white, they separate colors. Isn't that nice? Blue and white. I think I'm going to add a tiny bit of red this time. I don't know, let's just play with colors. There we go. So you can put on any way you want. It's your own background. You can have any color background you want. You can have it just plain. You don't have to have two, or you can put 2 or 3 colors together. You can do whatever you want with the background. I just have an easy background to show you today. I want to make these step-by-step tutorials easy to follow. Painting an eagle is going to be as easy as I can make it for you, okay? So that's not bad so far. Look at that. That's a nice little sky. So we can come down a little bit further with white, a little tiny bit of red, and let's come down a little further. There we go. Back and forth. If you go long strokes, that will give you a nice smooth finish. There we go. Simple and quick and easy. So now what we want to do is put some grass down here. So use the same brush that you just used. I prefer a bristle brush though when you're using for grass, okay? So you can just tap into some green. Some green. Just tap in, tap, 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 tap. And tap into, let's see, a little bit of blue. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Maybe a little bit of yellow. Alright, so let's put those colors on there now. So just green, a little bit of blue, just to darken it. And we'll just tap. Tap, 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 tap. There we go, see? See how nice that comes out? I've done this in my other videos too, so you probably, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll have these techniques down path. So let's get some more green, and let's try a little bit of red this time. I love playing with colors, just see what will come out. Maybe a little bit of blue with it. Oh, look at that one. Nice. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as what I painted earlier. You'll find that if you paint the same painting 3 or 4 times, it'll always be different. But this is nice experimenting with your colors. Look, green, maybe a little bit of yellow this time. Mix it, same mix with some blue and red. When you add a yellow, see how it brightened it up even more? That's nice. Now you can use a lighter green than that if you want. But I like to put the dark greens on first so that I can put highlights on top. I'm letting those little strings come up there because that looks like grass. See? Now this is just your background for your eagle. You can put any background you want, okay? I'm just going by what I have done already. There we go. Simple as pie. There we go. And here's another look again at the eagle. Just want to show you now what we're trying to accomplish today. So we have the background almost done. And I just wanted to show you that you can take a sponge. It's a sea sponge. And you can wet it. And then you can dip it into some different colors. Maybe this is for your grass. Maybe let's try a little bit, I don't know, let's try a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green. Let's see. Let's try all kinds of colors. Red. Let's just see what happens. I like to experiment with colors. Don't be afraid. There we go. That looks nice. Oh yeah, it looks like flowers actually. Huh, cool. Okay, get some more paint when you run out. Yeah, this is really nice. Some yellow. And just tap, 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 tap all over the place. Just to give you kind of a flowery look. Nice, yeah, good. Maybe a little bit of white for a change. So that's just a sponge, a sea sponge. Now we'll go over this again with make some more real looking flowers. There we go, that'll get you started. And it's simple. Like I said, my videos are easy to follow. Simple, easy techniques to get you started. See? So now when we get a little more advanced into it, we'll make these nice flowers here. Put all kinds of flowers in there. Nice, yeah. So we'll get this started, which we already have started, but we'll get started now on our eagle, and then we'll do all kinds of things when we get the eagle finished and we put the flowers and everything in. All right. Now when your painting is all dry, take a drawing of your eagle, draw it out. You can either go on some free websites or some free sites that let you use their picture for commercial use, or for, well, this is only for your personal use, but just in case you want to show it off in an art gallery or something, go to some of those free domain sites and print off an eagle and then trace it out. Or you can certainly sit down for a couple hours and try to draw it. It's only just a round. As you can see, the lines are very simple. Just a small round head, and then you just come down like that. So I mean, I'm not going to do that today because I'm trying to teach you to paint. So just tape that on when you get your drawing done on your paper, and tape it on. I showed you this in other videos before, so you've probably seen this. And then take some carbon paper, and the carbon paper you can buy in the craft stores or some copy stores, or you know, any store should have this carbon paper. And it's okay, and then you draw it out. So I just drew it out there so I wouldn't have to waste your time. So you put that underneath there, and then you take a pen and you draw out the lines. Draw all the lines out that you need to paint. And then when you're finished doing that, and it's okay to have your lines there, yes, because we'll paint over those, so don't worry about that. So like I said, I'm going to do the tutorials as easy and simple as I can for you. Okay, so now that you have it drawn, now we are going to start with the head. Let's just work at one piece at a time rather than fill everything in and then go back. Let's go in and start with just the head part at first, okay? So let's lay this out of the way, and then let's make a shadow. In order to show white, we have to have a shadow. I'm using a small round brush. You can use a small flat brush, a chiseled edge brush, and sable. And so I'm just going to take some blue and some red and kind of make a dark purplish color. I'm going to add a little bit of white so it won't be too dark. I'm just going to make kind of a purplish color just to give some shadow. Okay, you got that? There we go. And it's on my round brush. Round brush has a pointy edge to it. So put that on there. If it's too dark, I'm going to lighten up a little bit so you can see it because I'm doing a video. But make sure it's got a little bit of darkness going on there. And then we will get all that on there for you. There we go. So let's get on, at least once you get your shadow on, then you can start painting on the white. But we'll put our shadow on first. Go around the line so you cover it up. A chiseled edge brush would be even better. Okay, I'm just going to use this for now. And you might even lose a little bit of the shape of the head, but don't worry, you'll get it back. As long as it's got a nice little round head. You can look at the photograph that you downloaded. There we go. So get all that in there. Yep. And just take your time. Take your time. Put on the paint. There we go. Good. Good. And if you're paint, now these are bottle paints, okay? And I find that it's easier for me to work with the bottle paints when I'm doing videos because the really thick tube paints are a little bit harder to work with for me because doing videos, because I want to do the videos in real time. It's different if I was doing it in, you know, like the where they speed it up and then they can take their time, but then they can speed up the video. I don't want to do that. I want to do it in real time, so I'm using these bottle paints, which is more fluid and it's a lot easier for me to work with. So that's why I use those. So you can go ahead and use tube paints if you like. Tube paints are a little more expensive, but they're worth it because the colors in the tube paints and the more professional tube paints the colors are more brilliant. Because you might say, well, what's the difference between the tube paints and the bottle paints? And that's the difference. These are probably a student grade or just, you know, and you don't get the bright, brilliant colors as you do with the more professional tube paints. So I just thought I'd throw that in for you. So I'm just going to lay that over here, just give you a quick look at it, just so you can get an idea. You can take a picture of that, you know, and so you can look at it while you're painting. Okay, so now we have that part of the head done. Now I'm going to use the same brush again. I need a small brush. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to take the same brush again, and I'm going to clean your brush, and we're going to put on some yellow on the beak. So let's put a little bit of yellow, maybe a tiny bit of red just to get us started. Watch the water coming off. You'll find that if you're cleaning your brushes, sometimes water will drip down on the brush. So be careful that don't happen for you because that will make a mess. So let's get the beak started. There we go. Remember I did the puffin? Something like that. But this is an eagle. Eagles are beautiful birds. Okay, so we'll get our, and there's a little spot there for the nose, or the nostril, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so this is why I'm using the pointed top on my round brush, so I can get that little pointy top on the beak. Okay, good. Might need 2 coats, so not to worry. We have to go over this a few times, and when you do it at home, you can take your time and have some fun with it, okay? I'm just getting you started. Most of my videos are, like I say, they're to get you started, make it as easy as possible, and then when you're finished looking at the video, and if I don't have it completely, I may not even have it completely done, you can add more to it, you can redo over a few things, because where I'm doing the video, I want to move on to some other videos too, to show you as much as I can, especially while it's fresh in my mind too. Sometimes I just get an idea and I'm like, oh, I gotta put that on video. Okay, so we'll just have the beak. That looks good. It's just those steps. And then we will do, let's do some of the eye. So take some black paint, black on the tip of your brush. So this round brush with a nice tip is really good to use. See? It's a round brush and it's nice and pointy on the top there. And that's easier to work with. It's almost like using a pencil or a pen, you know what I mean? Alright, so there we go with the eye. And let's make him nice and angry looking. Like when you get up in the morning and there's no coffee left. And let's go around the eye. Let's just make a little darkness around the eye, or if you want to call it let's see if I can go in there without that getting blurry on you. I really don't want to get it blurry. Sometimes this camera will blur and sometimes it won't, so I can't trust it. One of these days I will get better equipment. One of these days. Let's see if that unblurs for you. I think it did. Oh, cool. Okay, so just put that in, and the black here. Okay, so at least you got an idea what way the eye looks. Good. So that's good, and I think there's a little spot in here that we'll just do for now. Good. Now, the next thing we're going to do are the feathers. Chiseled edge sable brush. That one says it's a quarter of an inch. Okay, well, and they all have different sizes. Different brands have different sizes. So you might say, well, what size are you using? And I can't really. I can, if I can see the number, like this one here, this round brush. This one says number 4. So I've had brushes and they said like 0, or they said 1 or 2. So it's hard to tell by the number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try these 2 brushes, and you guys can try different brushes, because I had to try several brushes to get the feathers. But I'm going to try these brushes now for the video. And I'm just picking up some white. And I'm just going to make these little strokes, okay? Now let's see what happens. Let's go around the head. It's around, around, around the head. Just make little strokes. Leave some of the shadow color. Start at the top of the head if it's easier. And just make quick strokes. Quick, 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 quick. Don't worry about it right now, because we can go back over it after. Pick up some fresh paint. And more quick stroke. Quick, quick, quick. Just put them on there as best you can. Try not to worry too much. Go with the shape of the head. So when you come from the beak, come up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over, and down around. Now I'm going to try the chiseled edge brush. So I'm finding that one is a little bit, see what happens now, because You have to try different ways. Chisel edge is good. So I'm using the chiseled edge, which is that really skinny edge there. It's almost like really sharp, like a blade or something. And there we go, that's a little better. So it's good to be able to try different brushes. You can even try a fan brush if you like. There we go. Now, good. So just keep doing that until you get it the best way you can. Put it on. 1, 2. It's harder too when you're standing up. I find you gotta be nice and relaxed. Sit down. Take your time. So, one good thing is if you're following along with me now, you can put it on pause and finish a segment. And then you can even go back and look at it again several times, whatever works for you. And that's what I do sometimes when I look at some videos. When I first started, I'd follow along in the video and I'd put it on pause, and then I'd do that piece, and then I'd go back in and look at it again and keep going over the same part a few times until I got it. So yes, I did the same. What you're doing now, I did the same thing. I'd look at all the videos and pick out the ones I try and paint along with. I'd only had to go by people who did do videos that you could paint along with. There we go. And then when you get more experience, you can look at the people who fast forward, and then you can say, oh yeah, I know what they're doing. Okay, we're going to get some of these feathers on. Might look funny at first, but we'll be putting a couple of coats on there. Good. Okay. Get some underneath here and here. And the more you get them on, the better it looks. Good. A little coming out this way. Just because you got the drawing done don't mean you can't make some changes. Good. So pick up some more white and just with your chiseled edge brush and put a few more strokes on. And like I said, we'll be going back and forth because that's a little bit wet there. Now it's probably, I didn't give mine a chance to dry completely, so I'm picking up some of the purple underneath. But I want you to keep some of that purple, okay? Or whatever your underpainting is. It could be gray. It could be whatever color you want. The underpainting can be any color. You decide. It's your painting. You do whatever you want with it. It's yours. Yep, it's all yours. Especially when you're finished, you put your name on it. You say, I did that. And even though you did with the help of looking at my video, you still did it yourself. So you put your name on it. It's your painting. Okay? So you don't have to worry about... I mean, if you want to mention my name when you show your paintings on Facebook or whatever, you can mention my name. If you don't, you don't. If you forget, you know, just have fun. I'm not going to get caught up in anything like that. Not me, anyway. Other people might be a little fussy, but I'm just having fun, just like you are. Okay, so it's coming along. We'll keep putting some white on there. See, and just keep layering the white. As long as you can keep some of those shadows, it should be okay. There we go. We're getting there. So when that dries more, I'll put more on there, okay? So you go ahead and finish that, and we'll move on to something else.